Good morning, Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. Let's kick off. So China has reduced its one-year prime rate by 0.10%, but not touched its 5-year rate. The 5-year rate is the measure for mortgages. Now, the Chinese property sector is in disarray. Last week, Evergrande went bust, which is the biggest or second biggest, depends on the opinion you have, property company in China. Now, Country Garden has been delisted from the Hang Seng index and is on the verge also of following in the footsteps of Evergrande and going bust. And that's what's likely to happen as far as Country Garden is concerned. Both those companies, being huge, are reflective of what's going on within China. The People's Bank of China, the PBOC, People's Bank of China, is done a load of stimulus as far as the Chinese economy is concerned post-lockdown. However, it doesn't seem to have done the job because the Chinese economy is stalling. Remember, China at the moment is still the number 2 economy in the world. Could be overtaken by India, as some opinions have it, but is the number 2 economy in the world. And saying that, why it is still the number 2 economy in terms of GDP. Also, it's got a 5.5% growth as far as GDP is concerned. However, my opinion is that heading towards the end of this year and into 2024, you'll probably see GDP drop to around about the 2.5, 2.6 level. Not necessarily go into negative. I'd be pretty surprised if it goes to negative considering how industrious China is, but it could go into negative, and that obviously would mean a recession. China is suffering from a deflationary environment at present, which is very bad for the economy. Its youth unemployment is through the roof, where, as I mentioned last week, they're even unwilling or stopping reporting the numbers because it doesn't look good on the Chinese Communist Authority that have such high unemployment within the youth sector. Moving on to other things, this week you've got the Jackson Hole Symposium. Jackson Hole Symposium is in Wyoming. It's a collection of all bankers, economists, analysts, and anything to do with financials, held and hosted by the Kansas Fed. And then they are going to then discuss all things regarding interest rates, inflation, obviously CBDC, the overall economy growth, etc., etc. So it is an important one to watch. Besides that, there's not really much happening in financial markets this week. So you should expect, based on those lack of economic numbers, for it to be a quiet market. However, in the equity sector, you do have a lot of companies that are reporting that could impact, obviously, the Dow and the Nasdaq and S&P moving up or moving down. Overall trend, in my opinion, short term is still down, even though the bull market trend has not been broken. But near term, I expect markets to continue falling short term. As regards the dollar, I expect dollar yen to continue climbing up towards the 150 level. At the moment, it's about 145, 146. The Bank of Japan will probably intervene if it continues moving as it is, because that's going to essentially damage the Japanese economy, having too weak a currency. So they've got a balance between what they want as a weak currency and what they desire as a weak currency and what the markets are pushing for. As regards cable, I expect pound to move up a little bit. Gold, unfortunately, I expect gold to continue falling towards the 1875 level, 1875 level, and even potentially could touch 1850. As far as Bitcoin is concerned, I think Bitcoin will test the 25,000 level, and then that'll be, we'll see from there. Not too sure. Could bounce from there, could go either way. 25,000 is the big level to be watching as regards Bitcoin. Don't forget to buy my latest book on Amazon. You can share, subscribe, comment. Happy to help. Take it easy.